This fall finale of Star gave me everything. Everything! Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is Star Season 3, Episode 9. And the name of this episode is Zion. This fall finale was everything, y'all. I was literally gagging throughout this whole fall finale. So let me get started. Starting off in the episode, we have a scene between Cassie and Carlotta. Cassie is now out of jail, and we see that Carlotta and Cassie are now back together again. And you know, Cassie was like, "Yeah, I'm so done with Xander and all that shit." And Carlotta's like, "Yeah, I'm glad, because he had you on some crazy shit." Like, yeah, you know. And then I said on top of it, he was a white boy at that. And she was like, "Hey, but he can fuck like a black dude." He's like, "Yeah, I know I was on my Olivia Pope shit, but now I'm back." And she was saying that, "Yeah, and we need to have Christmas at my house." And Carlotta was like, "Oh, no, honey. We're doing it at my house." And Cassie's like, "Well, why we got to do it at your house?" She said, "Because your ass can't cook with your dry ass macaroni and cheese." I was like, "Oh, shit." But it was good seeing that, you know, that Carlotta and Cassie are now, they're now good again. But then she had brought up, you know, what about Cotton? And she said that, look, you took her daddy away from her. So that's something that she's never going to forget. But hopefully you guys can come to terms with that. So then we actually see Angel and Simone. Angel is back up in High Heels camper behind Carlotta's house, and she's pretty much saying that you know, "I want to tell Miss Carlotta that you're back." And he says, I understand that you want to do that because that's your family, but I don't want nobody involved with my mess." And she was like, "Well, I can talk to Nina, you know, maybe she can help." He's like, "Nah, she's already helped enough. I don't want nobody involved in my shit." So I'm like, this is interesting. So then we get a scene at Gravity Records. It's their annual Christmas party, and everyone is you know, simply having a wonderful Christmas time. And Star is taking advantage of the buffet, and she is just eating up a storm. We see that, you know, Carlotta and we see that Carlotta is there with Miss Bruce, and they talking or whatever, and also the girls are there. And you know, Miss Bruce kind of dropped some teas, like, "Oh yeah, did y'all heard that Nina left that Nina left Mateo?" And everybody's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, she just said deuces, and that she was in love with somebody else. I wonder who." And then we just see Simone looking all simple. I'm like, you done got yourself a love triangle, Simone. We gonna see who gonna come out on top. So they definitely talking about that. Then we see, you know, Jackson decides he's gonna do a public proposal to Star. And I'm like, see, there's a thing with these public proposals. Now, if your relationship's in good standing and y'all already had that connection that y'all want to get married, then yeah. But if y'all ain't never discussed no marriage, don't do no damn public proposal. Don't do that. Because Star was kind of like, "What the fuck you doing, Jackson? We ain't even discussed no damn marriage." And all of a sudden, but I get it. You know, it's the Christmas spirit. He's about to be a daddy. He's, you know, he's like on cloud nine, and he's ready to lock Star down, and they become a family. But as that was happening, all of a sudden, some guy comes up to Star and was like, "Are you Star Davis?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You've been served." And she's been served a cease and desist, and that she cannot perform There For You. You know, her hit. You know, her diss track. She can't perform it. And she's like, "I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Who the fuck did this shit?" And so, of course, Carlotta and everybody is like, "What the fuck is this?" And then we see later on that, you know, Jackson and Star are talking, and he comes up with the idea, why don't you do the song with Noah? You know, because at the Rhythms and Bells showcase, Star was supposed to have a solo performance. You know, she was supposed to perform this hit. But now she's been served a cease and desist. She can't perform the hit on the biggest night of her career. So, you know, but then Jackson was like, well, okay, if you can't do it then why don't you actually, you know, why don't you actually do the song with Noah, the duet that you and Noah did? She's like, you know, we're not ready for that. And then all of a sudden, little Deanie's old trifling punk ass comes out and lets her know that he was the one that sent her to cease and desist, because he's like, look, my homeboy made that beat. So, you know, pimps up, hoes down, talking all this shit. Star's mad as fucking, throws a shoe at him. She's like, oh, when I get this baby, I'm gonna fuck you up. You know, because Star is about had it up to here with little Deanie's ass. But he did that shit because she publicly humiliated his ass. So now he in turn did the same thing, you know, by sending her a cease and desist that she can't perform her song or they gonna sue her ass. And I was like, oh, that motherfucker is grimy as hell. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna see how they're gonna come back with little Deanie's ass, because, you know, little Deanie is like Team Maurice, and we know Maurice ain't shit. So, we also see a scene with Cotton is actually talking to one of the clients, and that little Jalen is a mess, and she was like, and he was like, but mommy, you said that we was going to see Santa and all that. She was like, you know what, little boy, you need to stay in a child's place, because ain't no Santa anyway. He's like, he real. She's like, no, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. And I'm like, that girl need to go some damn well with her crazy ass. But it was funny. She's like, you see, you still ain't beat this boy's ass yet. Like, and besides, ain't no Santa Claus no damn way. Up there seeing grown folks talking and all that. And then all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, and we're going to see Santa Claus and all this shit. And then Cassie comes in, man. She was like, first of all, little boy, Santa Claus don't... Sorry about that. She's like, first of all, little boy, Santa Claus don't come to little badass kids. Now take your ass upstairs like your mother told you. And then Kyle was like, I had this, Cassie. And she's like, look, I know you mad at me, and I know what I did. I can't bring back Hail, but I really do want to help change the dynamics of our family, and I will spend the rest of my life making up for what I did to you. So we see that Cotton and Cassie have a moment. So then we get a scene with Alex and Miss Ruby, and I was so here for it. She's like, Miss Ruby's like, girl, I'm not even gonna lie, I missed your bougie ass. I was so tickled by that. And she was like, they both talking about that, you know, because they both have been dealing with trauma. You know, Miss Ruby dealing with the trauma of being raped, and Alex dealing with all of this, you know, panic attacks, dealing with her past, her present, you know, situation with Derek. It's just become too much to handle. And she's saying that, and Alex just like, look, I'm just trying to get back to me. And, you know, she's been having these panic attacks or whatever, and she tells Miss Ruby about it, and Miss Ruby's like, look, I got the right thing for that. Here, I got me some kush. And I'm like, you better get it, Miss Ruby. Let her know to burn some green to take away the anxiety. But she's like, no, I'm gonna be okay. And, you know, I really want to, you know, work things out with Derek. And she's like, yeah, I know things are kind of rock with y'all, but I hope that y'all get back to a good place. So then we get a scene with Bobby and Miss Bruce. You know, Bobby is Noah's father. They up in the studio all hugged up with each other, and they look really cute together. And I really want Miss Bruce to win, you know, because I love me some Miss Bruce. Miss Bruce is probably one of the wisest people on this show, and I want to see Miss Bruce happy. And we see that her and Bobby are talking, and she's like, look, I'm tired of, you know, hiding and all of this. Like, are you ashamed of me? He's like, no, I'm not ashamed of you. I'm just now getting good with my son, and I really want to make sure things are good between me and him before I let him know about us. And then as soon Noah came into the room, he pushed Miss Bruce away or whatever, and was like acting like nothing going on. And Noah peeped it. Mo was like, yo, is something going on between you two? And Bobby's like, oh no, we just old friends, we go way back and everything. But then like Miss Bruce is just had it. She was like, oh, I gotta go check on the girls. And she's like, okay, well, I'll see you later. She's like, oh no, I'm done, manager, and walked off. So I was like, wow. So yeah, so Miss Bruce is tired of the bullshit because he's still lying, and Miss Bruce feels as if you're ashamed of me. You're afraid to come out and publicly and say that I'm the one you with. And she's like, I ain't got time for this shit. And then we get a scene between Carlotta and Maurice, because these motherfuckers don't like each other. Because earlier, he was talking his shit, and she was like, yeah, I can't wait to outdo you so I can finally put your ass down. And he was like, well, I already got your ass. And she was like, yeah, but you weren't good at it. And then later on, we see that they talking about, he was saying that, look, everything is banking on the show. The show gotta be successful. It's like, first of all, Maurice, I ain't here for your griminess and your bullshit. I got a lot to lose, and I'm not losing. He's like, well, I'm not losing neither. You ain't the only one that's gonna be having some loss. And I'm like, Maurice, if you don't take your punk ass on somewhere with your bullshit, because if anything, he lost his child, and it's just made him more vicious, more grimy, and more treacherous. So, and he's like, I'm not losing again. Well, actually, bro, you kind of lost this episode too, but I'm gonna get to that. So, then we see that Take 3 is doing an interview with Chloe, and Chloe is played by Drea, and she's asking them questions and all of that, but then she starts getting into Alex, and this bitch decides to go deep, because the bitch is all about a story. And it just goes to show you that some of these interviewers be pulling some tactics and be pulling some tricks out their ass because they want an exclusive, and not only that, they want to humiliate the person that they're interviewing. So then she starts talking about Alex, and was saying that, well, we did some research and found out that you was actually signed to your dad's label at 15, and you had a album that got shelved. So if it didn't happen for you then, what makes you think it's gonna happen for you now? And all this shit. I'm like, first of all, bitch, she was a child at the time, and now she's more in control of her artistry than she's ever been. And probably the reason why that shit didn't pop, because it was the fucking pretty much she wasn't allowed to be herself. So, and then on top of it, probably it was the label and shit that was actually behind that album. She wasn't controlling it herself, but now she has control of her sound, she has control of her look. And on top of it, she's well-rounded as an artist and a musician, as a producer and a songwriter. So I really wanted to beat Chloe's ass in this moment, because I'm like, bitch, you was trying it. And we see in this situation, it just becomes too much for Alex, and Alex starts having a panic attack on camera. And the bitch was kind of like, yeah, keep it rolling. And Carlotta was like, shut this shit down, bitch. Like, yeah, this shit is over. And we just see everything that she's been going through has now caved in. Her father, her being in the accident, all of the things that she's had to face, her shoplifting, all of this stuff just came in, and she is just having a panic attack out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden we see that finally Bobby runs into Miss Bruce, and he was saying that, and pretty much, Miss Bruce stood up to him. She was like, look, you know what? I'm grown, and I've gotten to a place where I'm learning to love myself, and I'm not going to let you hide me. I'm not going to let you play this game with me, where you deal with me when you want to deal with me, but then you want to keep me closeted and keep me hidden because you're afraid of what other people going to think about you. She was like, you know what? And the sad thing about this, I ain't got time for it. But the sad thing about it is that I actually love your ass. And he was like, you love me? And she's like, yeah, my crazy ass love you. And then next you know, he immediately kisses Miss Bruce. And then that's when Noah saw it, and Noah flipped the fuck out. He was like, I told your ass to tell me the truth, and yet you lied to me again. I asked you to your face, and you said nothing was going on, and yet you lied to me again. Like, why are you always lying to me? It's like the moment I decide to trust you, here you go disappoint me again. And I'm like, see, you would have been better off, Bobby, if you would just told him the truth, because he likes Miss Bruce, and he's saying that, and he said at the end of the day, you could have just told me this shit. I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I wouldn't. I didn't have no issues with y'all dating, but I'm mad that you lied. So then we see it's now the Rhythm and Bells event. Little Deanie fucking doing a little live feed, talking shit like, he's like, yeah, so you ain't gonna be doing that song, Star, because just let you know, we gonna be on deck. We gonna make sure you don't do that track, because I was there for you bitches. And it's like pimps up, hoes down. And I'm like, little Deanie ain't gonna be happy that somebody beat the shit out of him, because he's still playing these little games, and he just coming for Star because Star publicly humiliated his ass. And then we see that Take 3 performs because they were like the opening act. They did their song and they shut the shit down. Then we see that Derek and Miss Ruby, because after she had finished talking to Alex, when she was trying to offer her some kush, Derek came up in there, and we see that Derek and Alex ain't fucking talking. She just immediately left, and she kind of told him, you need to work that shit out with her. Alex is a good girl, like whatever, but she says that I really want to get things together so we can go down to the shelter and actually serve the families. And he was like, you amaze me, Grandma, that after all you've been through, you still thinking about other people. And she says that, yeah, this time of the year we gotta help people. So they down at the community center serving the homeless, and she's making food and all of that. And then all of a sudden she went to go get the rolls. She comes out and she sees Mike. She drops the pan, and she actually pissed herself. And all of a sudden Derek now finds out that it was Mike that raped his grandmother. So he grabs a knife and is ready to go out there and stab old boy, but she stops him. She was like, no, I don't want you to put yourself in danger or anything like that. But she's like, just take me home. So we come to find out that, yeah, she took, so he ends up taking her home. But then let's just say Miss Ruby gave us a moment of tonight, which is why she's the thumbnail of this episode, because Miss Ruby gave me life. And I'm gonna get to it, so let's keep it moving. So then at the showcase, Simone is doing promotion for the movie that she's about to be in, and she gets this bouquet of flowers, and it's a card, and she was saying that you deserve this and a whole lot more. Goodbye, Nina. So, and then all of a sudden we see that Angel shows up, and he was saying that I wanted to, I know I'm trying to be on the low, whatever, but I really wanted, I really wanted to be here to support you, and I want to be by your side and everything. So he's like, he all out in the open, but he's still kind of incognito, and I'm like, Angel, yeah. So then all of a sudden we see Mateo walks up on them, and Mateo knows who Angel is, know his, Angel Rodriguez, know his name and everything. And motherfucking Simone was like, if you fucking deport him, I swear to God, I will do everything in my power to end you. And Mateo was like, I used to be him, so go and fix your damn makeup and go finish promoting my movie. So I was like, this is gonna be interesting. Now Mateo knows about Angel. How do we know that they won't use this as a ruse to control Simone? Or better yet, due to the fact that Nina was the one that paid for him to get released, how do we know that Nina ain't gonna flip and try to get Angel deported? I think all this will play itself out, when the season comes back. But let's just say they in a web, and we're gonna see who's gonna come out of it. So we see that after that whole situation with Chloe and her messy, trifling ass, Alex goes back to the house and decides to look for that herbal refreshment that Miss Ruby had offered to her earlier. She's going through looking for this shit, and then all of a sudden she hears like a gun clock or whatever, and she just flips out, like, and we see it's Derek, and she's like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? Why do you have a gun? What the hell are you doing? And he was like, look, you just can't be sneaking up in here like this. She's like, I went to kind of find she's like, I came back to find, some weed that your grandmother offered to me earlier. And she's like, what's going on, Derek? Like, why do you have a gun? What the fuck is going on? You need to talk to me. And finally, Derek makes the confession that, look, I was an informant for the police. That girl you saw me kiss was a cop, but she was murdered. And they were, I was a part of this to actually take down the Bankhead crew, because one of them actually because one of these people were the ones who raped my grandmother, but now I know who did. So that's why I got the gun, because I'ma go in this nigga. And Alex talks him out of it. She says, no, don't do this. If you kill somebody, that will hurt your grandmother for the rest of her life, and she doesn't want that for you. So just give me the gun. Give me the gun. You don't want to do this. And we see that he removes the shells out the gun and he hands the gun to her. But then he said that, so pretty much he was saying, so pretty much after that, he lets her know, so, what's going on, why you, and she even opens up to him about, all this pressure she's been under, being her father's child and all the stuff she's been through. And, I'm not trying to, be trapped under my father's name. And there was like, you got a name of your own. I need you to be that girl that I met, the girl that I fell in love with, that girl with confidence, that girl with drive, and that girl with talent. Go out there and show them the girl that you are. Show them the girl that I know. So it was cool, and I was so happy that Derek and Alex finally mended fences, and now they're back together. So I was so here for that. So then we see Star Simone, and we see that little Deanie and this nigga is literally up there, and they're quoting, y'all know me, y'all know me, y'all know me, because they want to hear Star do her song. And then like he got like a little motherfucker, like little Deanie and some motherfuckers like looking down on Star, letting her know, yeah, you better not do this song. And she's like, I don't know why you dumb motherfuckers is looking down on me. Shit, I'm not gonna do the fucking song, alright? And then all of a sudden we see that Noah and Jackson come through, and then, Noah's like, look, I heard about what went down. Me and you gonna do the song together, and we gonna shut it down or whatever. And then all of a sudden, at that moment, Star was happy that Jackson came through and was like, look, we got a replacement. We can do this. And then all of a sudden, Star tells Jackson, ask me again. And here it was, he was about to propose, and then the next thing you know, Star's water broke. And next thing you know, we see them in the ambulance, and it's at the fucking Rhythm and Bells event. So she's literally going into labor at that moment. They couldn't get her to the hospital because it's a big crowd and it's an event, so they kind of stuck. And here it is, she ends up having a damn baby. You got Jackson behind her, and you got the rest of the girls all there, and we see that she's actually giving birth to the baby. And then the next thing you know, we look and we get the shocker of them all. But we all was speculating this shit, whether it was Jackson's baby or not. But that chocolate baby came out crying, And all of a sudden we see Jackson's face drop. Everybody else's face is like, and then we see Noah is stuck because it's Noah's damn baby. I was like, shit! That was the shocker of them all. And then Star's like, I'm sorry, Jackson. I didn't know. But we see that Jackson was broken. Because he was so excited and happy about being a dad, to coming to find out that it's actually Noah's baby. It ain't his. Then we get a scene where Cassie breaks into Xander's house. She goes to his safe, gets this flash drive, and now she got all of his shit, and she plans on exposing him. And then all of a sudden she hears somebody, so she goes into the other room, and then we see that Xander comes in there with his wife. They making out and everything, and he pretty much tells her, you're the only woman I ever loved, and we should try on a second baby. Oh, motherfucking Cassie's heart was like, oh, this motherfucker has been treating me like shit for 15 years, and I love this man from the depths of my soul, and this motherfucker never loved me. And we see that she ends up pointing the gun and shit, and I was like, shoot his ass, Cassie! But then she was like, you ain't even worth the bullet, and ends up leaving. Because she's like, I'm going to get you another way. So we see that finally Star gets to the hospital. We see the baby boy. Oh yes, and shout out to Drew Demarest. She just recently had her baby, and she had a son. So congratulations to Drew Demarest and her husband. And definitely I wish you all the best, Jude. So, and it was kind of funny because like on the show she had a boy, and she had a boy in real life. So I thought that was awesome. And like we see Simone is there with her, so Simone is now an auntie, and then like Star was like, you know what, here it was, I was trying to create this fairy tale, but I realized fairy tales ain't for us, man. That ain't our life. We ain't never have that, but I was trying to do that for him. And then she pretty much tells him, Simone finally confesses to Star that Angel is back and that I'm gonna see Mateo for help in regards to him. But then she was like, so you want me to go out and bring the daddies back? And she was like, don't call them that, please. Because it's like, Star's like, you done caused this shit. Old boy, been there for you, been supporting you throughout this whole ordeal, to come to find out that Jackson, you are not the father. So we see both of them, Noah and Jackson, in the room. Simone goes and lets them know that they want you guys back there. And we can just look at Noah's face. We can just look at Jackson's face. Jackson is pissed. And then we actually see, he asks us to hold the baby. And he holds the baby and he smiles. And then we next see that that Noah holds the baby too. And then afterwards, Jackson just leaves. He can't take it anymore. Because it's like his whole dream just literally got ripped right out of his chest. And that's a serious pain. So then, back at Rhythms and Bells, the whole damn thing has been leaked, and the damn internet is going crazy off of the fact that Star had this baby and it's actually Noah's baby, and that here it was like, so Star is trending already, but now that this happened, Noah's at the hospital. Noah's supposed to have been the headlining act for this Rhythm and Bells event, and now Noah can't perform, so that shuts down Maurice's ass. So therefore we see Alex, because so pretty much, they both, Carlotta and Miss Bruce, are talking about this shit. She was like, yeah, Merry Mother effing Christmas. like really. So now Star didn't perform, and now Noah ain't gonna perform because now Noah's a daddy, and now the whole press thing got to it. But Alex pretty much tells Carlotta, put me on stage. Let me do this. And she's like, and Carlotta's like, are you sure? And then, of course, Maurice was like, well, we need a headlining act, and she ain't that. And all this shit. And she was like, and Mateo's there too. She's like, look, let me do this. I can handle it. You need an act. I got me something. Let me go out there. And then afterwards, Maurice gonna tell Carlotta, well, you know, if she bomb, it's on you, right? She looks at Maurice and was like, shut up. I was like, thank you. Maurice and his bullshit. Like, dude, your act ain't even there. So, really, Carlotta is the actual winner in regards to this Rhythm and Bell situation, because if it wasn't for Alex, and let me say, Alex behind stage, she got her blonde hair, she's going through all of this, and she channels it and puts it in the performance, and Alex shut it down. Alex shut that thing down, and it was great. Then afterwards, we see that Alex goes to see the baby too, and Jackson, like, Star was like, oh yeah, girl, you killed it. But if I wasn't in this position, I probably would be jealous. And she's like, yeah, I know. She's like, yeah, but I'm jealous now. I'm like, Star, shut up. It was just too cute. So then we see that finally Jackson comes back, and he says that, look, I'm happy for you, and I'm not mad at you, but I gotta move out. This is just too much. Goodbye, Star. So he says, so he pretty much ends up going, packs his stuff, and he moves out of that Star's house. So, of course, this definitely hurts Star, because Star really does care about Jackson. So then we see that Noah goes to talk to his father, and we actually see that, you know, he admits to his father that he's a father now. You know, I'm a daddy. And he's like, well, it's not like I don't know what to do, because it's not like I had a good representation of that. And in this moment, instead of Bobby being snappy and trying to win the argument, he owned his shit. He was like, you right. You better than me. And because the fact you better than me, I know you're going to make a great father. And it was a great father and son moment. It was beautiful. It was what needed to happen. Then the next thing you know, we see Noah drive in. And then from the looks of it, Noah gets into an accident. The question is, will Noah live? But that's going to be some shit if yet, you know, Noah dies in a car accident. And shit's just crazy, because he's like really happy that he's a father. And I think he was on his way back to the hospital, and he ends up getting in a car accident. So we're going to see whether will Noah pull through. So then we see like Carlotta and Cassie, they having Christmas dinner or whatever. You know, Cotton's supposed to be on her way back because she took little Jalen to go see Santa Claus, you know. And then she pretty much tells, she also tells Carlotta, I got Xander's driving, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna put all his shit out there, you know. And you know, so Xander's about to go down, so I got this. Next thing you know, we see the damn father coming to the house, and he bringing gifts. And Carlotta's like, get your ass up out of here. Nobody invited you. What the hell you here for? And then he makes the confession that he got Alzheimer's disease. She's like, I don't give a damn what you have. Get the hell up out of here. And then next thing you know, we see that Cassie gets a call on her phone, and she's like, what the hell you want? And they pretty much doing FaceTime, and it's fucking Xander. And Xander was like, you got something of mine. So because of that, I took something of yours. And we come to find out that damn Xander got fucking Jalen tied up. Question is, what happened to Cotton? And what's going on with her? But I was like, oh, that motherfucker is ruthless as shit. Like, yeah, bitch, you should have popped his ass when you had the chance, Cassie. You had a clear shot, and you could have just ended him right then and there. But she didn't. So then we get one of the shockers of this episode. Miss Ruby went home after so what happened is that Derek took Miss Ruby home. She got her a pair of clothes, and she went back to the community center. And we see that the only person that's still there eating like a fucking pig is that dirty motherfucker Mike. Mike is just eating away, and he was talking to somebody, but then ended up leaving. So then little Mike's by itself, and here it is. Miss Ruby served him another plate, and she was like, "Oh, here's some more for you." He's like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, greedy ass." He starts eating, and then she sits right there and right next to him, and then all of a sudden he looks. He was like, "What's up, baby? So you miss me, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, you dirty bastard! You dirty motherfucker!" Like, he really thinks this shit is cool. Like, it's a sport to him. Like, it just ain't dawned in your mind. You just literally sexually assaulted an elderly woman. And here it is, Miss Ruby, literally got her power back in that moment, because then she starts talking. And she's like, "For 25 years, I lived in that house. And in that moment, you took my power from me. But I'm going to get it back today." And he was like, "That's cute. So how you gonna do that, huh?" And he just chucking away, just eating, ain't thinking about shit. But then all of a sudden that granny came out. She's like, "Them green beans gonna give you the ride of your life." And next thing you know, we see this motherfucker starts coughing, foaming out the mouth, and he just fell out dead. And I'm like, "You better do this shit, Miss Ruby." Yes! I was so fucking happy she ended that dirty motherfucker. Because me personally, you do anything to hurt the fucking elderly, you deserve to be 6 feet under. Those are our elderly, and we're supposed to protect and care for them, not violate them. So I'm like, that's a disrespect to your lineage to sexually assault an elderly woman. But I was so happy that Miss Ruby took her power back, because after that motherfucker dropped dead, she fucking took that plate and was like, "Silent night, holy night." I'm like, yes, Miss Ruby, you do the damn thing. She took her power back and pretty much did it in a very nice way. So, and Miss Ruby, yeah, she gonna get away with this shit, because she did it in a very nice way, was just as calm with it. Took that damn plate, threw it in the trash. They won't be able to trace how he got this shit. So I'm like, Miss Ruby, yes, you definitely get a gold star, because you shut this shit down. And I was so happy that damn Mike is done. Because I was ready for that motherfucker to die from the first episode when he decided to rape her. I was so bothered. But yeah, that's what I got, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my other social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the spring premiere of Star, and I think it comes back in March. So until then, everybody, take care.